Welcome back, everyone, to the Thanksgiving Tournament Experts Vision Weekend Round. Hole number one. Before we get into that, I'd like to remind everybody that if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. You can ring that little bell. You'll get notified when I go live, post new content. Help me grow the channel. I sure would appreciate it. It's absolutely free. Also, if you'd like to get your hands on some of the guys that we produce here and in other divisions, you can find those at patreon.com/gcfenzel. We have really good notes for pro, expert, and master divisions. Uh, our notes produce gold banners in every tournament, and that's not an exaggeration. So we spend the time and effort on these shots to make sure that we're giving you the best possible notes. So it's definitely worth uh, getting our guides, in my opinion. Also, on a final note, if you'd like to come and hang out during the dialing in streams or just help support the channel, you can become a member. The link is in the description of the video. Members get access to my entire library of shots, all old shots. They get to watch and hang out while I'm dialing in these shots, so you'll get different looks and different shots as that's going through. You also get special recognition in chat, amongst other things. So for less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can come hang out, support the stream, and benefit from it as well. So hole number one, we're setting up for a Kingmaker Thorn bounce up shot, similar to what we played in the opening round. The only difference is this shot is a full overpower shot using a Kingmaker. So it is great, safe, as long as it's not a triple great, right? Or you should be safe. Um, but you can switch and play this shot with higher power level balls. Just you got to remember that if you do, then you will risk running into min club. So I'm using a P3 ball, and sometimes with the longer rollouts on the drive, you'll be within a few rings of min on your thorn shot. And if you're using a P4 or P5 ball, your min line is going to be closer to the hole, and it could cause you some problems. So just keep that in mind if you use a P4 or P5 ball. Maybe you want to back off the top spin a little bit from what I'm using so that you don't land so close to the hole and um, you don't put yourself in a position where you're between clubs. So I'm setting up at the bottom of the +6, and it's kind of a unique way to set this up. Um, you'll see I turn my screen sideways here, and I'm going to recommend that you do this as well so that you can actually get a good look at what you're doing and make sure that you're setting up in the same position. So APOC 5 and 6, you'll have the green ring touching the rough on the bottom. APOC 7, you'll have 1/3 of the yellow ring into the rough. And then APOC 8 is yellow ring touching, as you see here. And we want that to be at the very bottom of the +6. And so if you turn your screen to this viewpoint, it makes it easier to see. You can just set your yellow ring on the rough a little further away from where I'm at now, and then just slide it up the rough line just until it clicks over to the +6. And that way you can assure yourself that you're always in the same starting position that I am. If you're doing, you can do it from, the standard viewpoint from the tee. It's just a little more difficult to see it. And you could be off slightly right or left doing it that way. So I do recommend turning your screen. It's easier to see. It's quicker to get the setup proper. Um, we're adjusting P3 plus 10% max. The base spin for this shot is 3.2 top spin, 3 right spin. However, you're going to need to pay attention to the amount of rings of overpower you pull into because there are different wind angles here in play, and obviously the wind strength is in play. So you see here, I pull about 2 rings, just slightly over 2 rings of overpower, and that's standard, right? So 3.2 top, 3 right is good for any adjustment that pulls over 2 rings of OP. If you pull between 1 and 2 rings of overpower, you need to back off your top spin to 3 top spin and 3 right spin. And then if you pull less than a ring into OP, you need to back it off to 2.8 top spin and 3 right spin. So for me, after getting all these tweaks in there, what I'll do is set up, adjust my rings, and then add my spin. So it's one less step that I have to take. I can just set my spin once and I don't have to worry about it. If you preset your spin and you catch the crosswind angle, then you're going to have to respin it before you shoot and hope you don't forget to do so. But beyond that, full OP, half a ball of right curl. So P3 plus 10% max, 3.2 top, 3 right, half a ball of right curl, full overpower. We're setting up at the bottom of the +6. And then reduce backspin or top spin as needed depending on the amount of overpower you pull into. For the approach shot, we're playing this one the same way, P3 plus 15% at slider. There's 2 rollouts, main rollouts that I've been getting on this drive. One is a little bit shorter where you're going to be between 340 and 345. If you catch that shorter rollout, I have a back green fringe check for you. And if you get the longer rollout that I had here on the right hand side, closer to 350, 351, then you'll count rings from men. So I'll show you that one first. Same type of setup that we're doing here, that we were doing in the opening round. We're going to count rings from men till the white ring is touching the fairway fringe line. I'm going to slide it right to left until I find my sticky spot. Add spin till my ball guide is about a half a square through the hole. Then I'm going to double check my sticky spot. You see here, I need to respin it, right? So I respin it. Pull your rings. You want to pull this one straight with a slight 1159 flicker. Just try not to pull any 01. Basically, I'm looking for straight with no flicker, but if anything, favor 59. Hit perfect, you should be good to go. It's 1% per ring counted up for men for the thorn shot. If you get the shorter rollout, like I have here on the left, then you can do this bullseye on the back green fringe line check, right? Right there. And that will give you a slider value, or you can count rings for men to be a little bit more accurate. But the green fringe check is as follows. +6 is 29, +5 is 28, +4 is 26, 3 is 25, 2 is 24, +1 is 23, 0 is 22, -1 is 21, -2 is 20, and -3 rings is 19 slider, and that's for the back bullseye green fringe check. P3 plus 15%, add slider, spin as needed, double check your sticky spot after you respin the first time. Trust me, that gets a lot of people, okay? One other thing to note, always pull through your yellow ring on this adjustment. That's how I'm doing it. If you want to try and get the same results, then that's what I recommend. If you don't like pulling through the yellow, then I would recommend you add 0.2 to your adjustment. Good luck, everyone. Hope you get the drop. We'll catch you on the next one.